Cold noon light. Sidewalk noise. Tessa sits outside the mall with a cardboard sign. Kneecap low. Chin high. Malik steps up with a hot sandwich and a clinic card. Hands open. Voice steady. She jumps to her feet. Arm flung out. Finger pointed. Walk away, she yells. Do not talk to me. I will not take help from a black man. Heads turn. A stroller stops. Phones rise. The words sting the whole street. Malik does not push back. He sets the sandwich at her feet. He places the card on the step. He meets her eyes. Then he walks through a side door, marked deliveries. She scoffs. She shakes. She thinks she won. She does not know that door leads to his office. Later she returns the sandwich to a diner cook. Give it to someone who needs it. She framed a shot on her phone. Men bring crumbs. No plan. Real hunger rides past on a bus. 2 days later she tries the hospital lot. Rain needles the air. A nurse presses a coat into Tessa's hands. Keep dry. Tessa smiles without warmth. I will be fine. She thinks of views, not weather. A guard snaps. No sitting near yard doors. She raises her voice. Why target me? A family watches. The youngest clutches a blanket. Shame pricks, then fades. Near dusk, she drifts back to the mall entrance. Same cap. Same sign. Warm air breathes from the doors. Malik passes again. Coat off. Shirt sleeves. Keys on a ring. He sets a bottle of water near her and keeps moving. She wants a story with teeth. She makes one. Back off, she shouts. I'm not a stray. A guard squares up to Malik without reading the room. No soliciting. Malik says nothing. He notes the badge. He does not show a title. 2 teens push strollers through a fog of cinnamon. A busker tunes a guitar. The guard leans toward Malik and mutters, These people bring trouble. Tessa keeps her chin high. You first. Respect me. She will sit on that concrete for 3 more days. She will push away kindness. She will chase her theory into harm. Malik will keep a ledger in his head. He will call a meeting no one expects. Stay for the turn and the reveal. Stay tuned. Share with friends. Comment your thoughts. A week stretches. Tessa scripts trials. She camps outside a cheap diner and barks at anyone who offers help. She posts clips. Views climb. Comments rush. The screen loves a storm. She moves to the car park behind grocery. A young father stops with a bag of oranges. These helped me last winter. Tessa meets softness with ice. Keep your fruit. He leaves the sack anyway. He lifts his toddler and mouths. Be safe. Shame flickers. She shoves it down. She hunts sparks. At a bakery, she points at a teen filming. Delete it. He mutters sorry and stumbles away. At the bus station, she snaps at a nurse on break. The nurse's eyes go wet. Take my scarf. Tessa tosses it back. The nurse tucks it under Tessa's thigh to warm the bench, then disappears into the doors. Malik appears in the edges of frames. Always moving. Always clocking. He eats fast near the service hall. He answers 2 calls about roof leaks. He checks rent relief for a hair salon. He says 2 words when security drifts toward Tessa with hard shoulders. Step back. Tessa edits for conflict. She misses the wider picture. The same workers appear at many corners. The same quiet hands slide help and keep risk low. The same black owner shadows the edge so no one gets hurt. Day 5. Tessa plants herself in front of a glass tower near the mall. She tapes a paper to the wall. Will work for truth. A tenant manager storms out. Remove this. He waves at a guard. The guard radios and looks eager. Malik watches from the curb. He traces the line from door to guard a clipboard. He hits record. Tessa sees him. You again. Her voice slices. You want a grateful selfie. Malik angles his phone to include the sign. The guard steps into Malik's space. No filming. Public sidewalk. Malik says. Take it inside. The guard snaps. The manager nods at the guard like a coach. Make it quick. A couple stops. A mother pauses with stroller. The moment holds weight. Malik stays level. Name and badge. The guard hesitates. Eyes drop. He mutters a number. The tenant manager huffs back inside. The guard stays smaller. Tessa peels tape from her sign. Tired shows for the first time. She tracks Malik with her eyes. The frown looks like a math problem. That night she edits a reel with sharp lines and sad music. She crops out the nurse with the scarf. She crops out the father with oranges. She leaves Malik's face and his phone. Status will never save us, she writes. The reel runs hot. Some cheer. Some spit. Before dawn, Malik sends 2 emails. To the tenant council. To the city outreach coordinator. Subject: public space. Real help. New rules. He blocks 15 minutes on the atrium calendar for an open forum. He invites vendors, cleaners, security, the choir director from the church around the corner. He sends Tessa a short note. If you want respect, sit in the light. She reads it twice. It feels like a dare. A mic waits under glass. A chair waits beside it. Tessa will pick a seat. She will not like what follows. Malik will stop hiding. Guards will learn an old word. Don't leave yet. Watch till the end. Comment 1 rule you want to talk about. Bright atrium. Midday. Plants lean toward the glass. Workers stand in clusters. Phones ready. A mic glows on a low platform. A simple sign reads Public Space Forum. Tessa sits with her cap low. Her clips 1 views. Shame sits heavy. She wants to leave. She stays. She watches the people who live here. A janitor with a mop. A cashier with tired feet. A bus driver on break. A young guard who looks like he missed sleep. Malik steps up without flair. He places a small wooden gavel on the table. Charcoal suit. Calm spine. I'm Malik Carter, he says. I run this property. I grew up 10 blocks away. I slept in a car with my mother for a winter. I do not play with hunger. A low ripple passes through the floor. He points to a screen with still frames from the week. Not to shame. To show patterns. Real help came fast and quiet. A worker passes a meal. A nurse tucks a scarf. A father leaves oranges. These are the people we protect. He clicks to the tower steps. The guard leans into Malik's path. The manager says, make it quick. Malik pauses the frame. He looks at the guard who now stands in back with hands clasped. We keep people safe, Malik says. We do not flex. He invites Tessa to the mic. The room turns like a tide. She moves like she walks through wet sand. She grips the edge. My name is Tessa Gray. I tested men to find truth. I hurt people who live truth every day. I wore a lie to teach a lesson only to myself. Her voice breaks, then holds. I yelled at a black man who gave me food and a map. I want a scene. I got one. It was ugly. Phones lift. Some faces soften. Some stay stone. Thank you, Malik says. He turns to tenants and staff. Here's what shifts. First, no harassment of people sitting near doors. Move only for safety or clear violations. No sweeps at night. Second, security trains with outreach workers. Open hands. Less force. More patience. Third, a small fund for warm food and bus passes. Staff use it without fear. Ledger posted. Fourth, 1 noon hour each week for an open mic workers speak. Shoppers listen. Rules live in public. An investor in gray steps forward. Jaw tight. This hurts business. Families want clean entries and no drama. A murmur rises. The cafe owner shakes her head. The scarf nurse steps up. Families want decency. Clean does not mean cold. Pull my lease rate down or I walk, the investor says. Malik studies him. 2 beats. If you walk, we open that corner for childcare and a community desk, Malik says. I will lose money before I lose my soul. Silence. A spoon taps tile. Hands follow. Not wild. Respectful. The investor steps back, pale. Malik looks at the guard from the tower. Your turn. The young man steps to the mic. I got lost in orders. I will do better. He turns to Tessa. I owe you an apology. I owe that nurse one too. Tessa nods. I owe many. Malik brings the gavel down once. Vote. Tenants lift hands. Staff lift hands. Shoppers lift hands. The rules pass in hearts before they pass on paper. Paper still matters. A lawyer writes about liability and nuisance. A big donor threatens to close a checkbook. Tessa's edited clips keep spinning. The next move decides if this holds. Share this with one person who needs hope. Morning after. Light through glass. A table in the atrium holds cards. Warm food fund. Ask. No forms. Next to them sits a small ledger with a pen on a cord. The cafe drops 20 bowls of soup and notes the cost. A barber adds 5 bus passes. A teen group fills a bin with gloves. Take 1. Leave 2. Security trains with outreach. Palms open. Voices low. A guard practices lines. How are you feeling? Where would you rather sit? Soup around the corner. He stumbles. He laughs. The trainer laughs. Learning sticks. The investor in gray stays. He watches the floor. People linger longer. He admits the truth in a quiet office. Pride drains. Sense returns. Tessa meets Reverend Lila at a church room with 2 chairs and a cheap lamp. Tessa speaks the parts she cut. Time she fed a lie. Time she bruised a real hand. Reverend Lila listens. Repair starts where harm took aim. Tessa asks to help at the open mic. Malik says yes. A week later, she sits on stage with hair uncovered and no props. She apologizes to the nurse and the father with oranges. They accept. They ask her to carry bowls and sit in back while voices from the block speak. Malik signs a memo with the council. The forum rules now sit in leases and the security handbook. Vendors sign paragraphs that protect people who rest on steps in winter. A city rep drafts a simple bill other blocks can use. Plain words. Clear lines. Tessa posts a new video with full context. No music. No twisting cuts. She names her motive and harm. She shows the small fund and the ledger. Give if you want. Or carry soup. The comments split. Then a line lands. I had a bowl yesterday. Thank you. Her chest lifts. At dawn, Malik meets cleaners before doors open. He thanks them for quiet work that never trends. He hands out badges that read safety and care. He shifts money from decor into storm overtime. A manager starts to argue, then stops. The week taught his mouth a boundary. The open mic grows. A bus driver sings a verse from a tunnel break. A teen reads a poem about a red scarf and hands that do not grab. A granddad shares a night on a church pew when his back failed and the city forgot his name. No loud claps. People listen, then line up for coffee. Tessa stands at the edge with cups. She smiles shy and hands out copies of the rules in large type. Take 1. Post this. Tell me if a line reads wrong. She learns to ask, not teach. Later, Malik passes the diner from day 1. The cook waves him in. 2 bowls steam at the pass. Soup on us once a week, the cook says. Malik nods and carries the bowls himself. He sets one in a man's hands near a column. Hot and mild. The man squints, then smiles. Bless you. Malik sits on the tile for the first sip and learns the man's name. Afternoon. Tessa finds Malik at a table with a spreadsheet and a stack of receipts. She brings 2 cups of green tea. Thank you for the seat, she says. Seats belong to people, he says. I want to look for love without hurting strangers again. He glances at the open mic schedule. Start with service. See who stays after the chairs fold. They do not hold hands. This is not that story. This is a story about a city that learned to hold its breath less and its people more. To everyone riding with us. To each view that turned into a step. Thank you. You helped us reach 100 subscribers. That number holds names and faces. You gave this channel a chance to speak and to listen. We see you. Subscribe to Echoes of Black Struggles. Share this with one person who needs a warm bowl and a fair rule.